Right now at 6, UW Hospital is looking into its hot water system, something that may have put patients at risk for a severe type of pneumonia.
How could you shoot this beautiful creature?
A family upset after their 2 dogs were shot. This pain fueling their search for answers. You'll hear from them a little later on News 3 at 6.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. UW Health said it is working to treat patients who contracted a form of pneumonia, likely within the walls of their own hospital.
News 3's Amy Reed joins us live from the hospital to tell us how it happened and what the hospital is doing now. Amy?
4 patients that were treated here at UW Health have been diagnosed with Legionnaire's disease, and right now the hospital is tracing that back to a change in the water system that may have allowed some bacteria to infect these patients. The disease was diagnosed at an outside facility. Patients had started developing symptoms of pneumonia. Since those patients had all stayed here, this was the common denominator. The hospital said they changed their water system back on the 12th, and that might have allowed the bacteria to enter the stream. 2 of the patients who were diagnosed with Legionnaire's have had to be readmitted. That's both to treat the pre-existing health issues and the Legionella pneumonia. And now the hospital says that they are in fair condition.
Obviously, I don't think there's ever a situation where you would say that it posed no additional risk to the patient. It's an infection that they shouldn't have had, and it had its impact.
We can't be 100% certain that they got the infection here until the tests come back confirming that. But if they did, that bacteria would have had to be inhaled, likely from the steam in a shower. It's not contagious from person to person. The hospital said they've switched the water system back to the way it was before, and they're monitoring other patients to make sure that they didn't get it. And they are also running high levels of chlorine through the system to kill any of that remaining bacteria. And until that system is complete, none of the patients here will be able to have any shower. Back to you.
Amy Reed reporting from UW Hospital tonight. Amy, thank you.
A woman charged with homicide for killing a man while operating a vehicle while intoxicated in October of last year is sentenced today. Kelly Johnsrud was charged with homicide after driving while intoxicated. Johnsrud had received 3 OWIs in 8 days. On October 13th, the day she received her 3rd, she hit and killed 38-year-old Verona native Kevin Kaltenberg, who family members described as a loving father, son, brother, and a friend to many. A judge says Johnson will serve no more than 18 years in the prison system, 10 of them in prison, 8 years extended supervision. Treatment will be provided to her during that time. Johnsrud is not eligible for an earned release program or Wisconsin's substance abuse program.
Well, snow is possible tonight. Let's check in with meteorologist Dana Fulton with your first alert forecast. Dana?
We're actually starting to see flurries right now in Madison. I was just outside. We have a few snowflakes falling here. Looking to the west, of course, the system moving east, so the western part of the state seeing a little bit of snowfall right now. All of the areas that we're seeing on our radar where that light blue is, not necessarily all of the areas where the snow is actually falling. I'll actually switch over, take a little better look with our HD radar, our high resolution radar. That pops it just a little bit more, looking just west of Monroe and parts of Lone Rock, and again, just northwest of Madison. Those are areas likely seeing snowflakes right now. Much of the other areas, we have moisture in the air or in the atmosphere, but as far as on the ground, it may be evaporating before it gets to you. But this system is going to continue to slide through overnight. We have light flurries expected into early tomorrow morning, so don't rule out the chance to see a little bit of accumulation for us throughout southern Wisconsin. Temps are in the 20s right now, about 26 in Madison, with our dew points a little lower than that. Off to the west, our dew points are a little higher. Of course, the moisture from the storm helping those dew points creep up just a bit. It's slightly warmer than it was this time yesterday. It was similar to this afternoon, just slightly warmer than the day prior. As our breeze is now coming from the southeast, sending a little warmer air in our direction tomorrow. Yet again, just slightly warmer for our afternoon highs in the mid-30s for your Thursday with a variably cloudy sky. We may have a bit of a messy commute tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at how long the snow is going to stay around and when our next opportunity for some rain is going to come in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. A Blue Mounds family is trying to figure out why 2 of their dogs were shot. They are hoping for a speedy recovery for one while mourning the other. Rose Schmidt shares their story and what they hope comes out of it. Rose?
That's right. 2 dogs, one 5 years old, the other just 8 months. Both were shot, leaving the family with pain and so many questions.
It's okay, Mac.
A lovable,
Everyone know when you're feeling sad, don't you?
and normally very playful pup. Mac now has a long road to recovery.
It's been a rough few days.
The Thronson family had 2 outside dogs, Mac and Diesel. two dogs that like to explore the family's 80 acres of land.
So the dogs took off on an adventure.
That was on Saturday.
But we started to get worried when they weren't home for sure by that next morning.
2 days later, Kathy found Mac back from his adventure, lying in his bed.
And I went up to him because he didn't get up to come greet me like he normally would, and he had a gunshot wound in his leg.
Mac was rushed to the vet with a shattered femur.
It breaks my heart.
Kathy later found Diesel less than a mile away from their home.
He had been shot through his back, his spine, and it went straight to his heart.
2 dogs with gunshot wounds.
There's a big hole in our family right now.
Leaving Kathy, her husband, and 2 kids to wonder.
How could you shoot this beautiful creature?
She says they started tying Diesel up a few months ago after a neighbor threatened to hurt the dogs for chasing the deer near his tree stand.
My family hunts, and I get, hunting. However, I don't get someone who could shoot a pet.
A fluffball German Shepherd Leonberger mix, and this blue-eyed beauty, who now has to learn how to survive on 3 legs.
I want some justice for him and Diesel.
Lieutenant Carrie Porter with the Dane County Sheriff's Office says this case is an open and active investigation, but he says it is definitely not legal to shoot a dog, and the Sheriff's Office will work to find out what happened here.
Oh, what a sad story. Thank you, Rose. And coming up in about 8 minutes, you'll hear from a Rock County family after their dog was shot by a Rock County deputy.
Officials in Barron County are dedicating a Christmas tree in honor of missing Wisconsin teen Jamie Kloss. That tree will be among several decorated at the Barron County Justice Center. Police believe Jamie was abducted earlier this fall after her parents were murdered. They do not consider Jamie to be a suspect in those deaths. Her family says the tree is touching. They are holding out hope to have Jamie home for the holidays. Friends and family will gather tomorrow to say goodbye to nearly 4,000 Wisconsin National Guard troops. The group is deploying and will serve in Afghanistan this winter. The private send-off planned for Lambeau Field. The soldiers being deployed are from the Appleton Base 2nd Battalion, 127th Infantry. They're helping train and support security forces in Afghanistan. The deployment was announced this September.
A member of Madison's Mounted Patrol Unit needs a new sponsor. Cooper has been part of the department since 2016. He was born in 2012. To find out what it takes to be a sponsor and how you can help, visit channel3000.com. The chancellor for UW-La Crosse is in trouble for inviting a porn star to speak at his campus. Chancellor Joe Gao used $5,000 out of his discretionary fund to pay Nina Hartley to speak. The chancellor has apologized for doing this and has promised to personally reimburse the school. UW System President Ray Cross warned Gao that he is ordering an audit of his discretionary fund in a letter. Gao said he invited Hartley to speak as a way of promoting the system's freedom of expression policy. Wisconsin Congressman and Speaker of the House Paul Ryan was honored by the Department of Defense today. Secretary of Defense James Mattis hosted the ceremony, thanking Ryan for his public service and support of the military. Today's ceremony is part of Ryan's farewell tour since he is leaving office at the start of next year. Ryan will give his farewell address on December 5th.
A Wisconsin singer is in the top 10 on the show The Voice. Chris Cruzy from Barron. Yesterday, he tweeted this message thanking his fans for helping him advance in the musical competition show. Earlier this year, he dedicated one of his performances to missing Wisconsin teen Jamie Kloss. Turns out you can be a calendar model at any age.
Just ask 12 women from Appleton. The ladies range in age from 70-something to north of 90. They also appear in the 2019 Touchmark calendar. Touchmark is an assisted living facility in Fox Valley. The women involved say they work out several times a week and understand that fitness is good for their futures. It's that mentality and their cheeky calendar that these pinup girls are hoping will inspire others their age to get active.
I think it's important that people understand that age is only a number. I mean, I could be 73 and very sedentary, or I can be 73 and very active.
I was thinking, well, not only are these people beautiful here, but they are strong and fit, and we are gaining muscle tone all the time. And I thought, why don't we make a calendar to show off our fitness?
The calendars are for sale at Touchmark for $8 a piece, and in the spirit of women helping women, all proceeds are being donated to Harbor House domestic abuse programs. The Rock County Sheriff's Office is investigating one of its deputies.
We will hear from a Janesville family who says that deputy shot their dog on duty this week. That story just ahead. A Janesville family is working to get their dog the care it needs after they say it was shot by a Rock County Sheriff's deputy.
It's caused the sheriff's office to launch an investigation into the event. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with what both parties are saying tonight. Adam?
Well, Eric and Charlotte, the Rock County Sheriff's Office says a deputy was in Janesville to serve civil papers on Monday when he says he was charged at by a German Shepherd. That's when, out of self-defense, he says he took out his gun and shot the dog, hitting it in its paw. But the Reed family, who owns the dog, says their German Shepherd Sky is not the aggressive type at all. And at the time, they say Sky was both chained up and behind a fence. April Reed says it was difficult to even tell what was happening or why it was happening at the time.
The only thing I could think of is who's outside, shooting. So I panicked, threw the kids in the bathroom. And then he went outside, opened the door a little bit and said, "Who's out there?" And that's when the cop finally said, "It's me, I'm out here." And he goes, "Did you just shoot my dog?" And he goes, "Yeah, I did."
The Rock County Sheriff's Office says they're not placing the deputy involved on leave at this time. But as for the Reeds and their dog Sky, they say they now have $2,000 in veterinary bills that they need help paying. They actually have a GoFundMe set up. For a link to that GoFundMe, you can visit our website, channel3000.com.
Adam, thank you.
Coming up, we'll tell you about a push to bring veterans to work in Wisconsin.
And it may be time to invest in an artificial Christmas tree. What's causing a nationwide tree shortage? Next at 6.
And we do have a little bit of snowfall moving through the state right now. We'll take a look at that snow potential heading into the weekend as well in just a few minutes.
The state hopes to add more veterans to Wisconsin's workforce. The state spending almost $2 million on the Mission Wisconsin initiative. The goal is to bring military personnel to Wisconsin once they leave service. The initiative matches the skills of veterans to the needs of employers. Officials hope to have a team of state employees and business representatives visit military bases throughout the country.
A nationwide Christmas tree shortage is hitting Wisconsin. Experts say you can blame the nationwide shortage on the 2009 recession. There was an excess amount of trees then, which caused many growers to go out of business. Most of the remaining farmers also cut back on planting new trees. Christmas trees are a long-term crop taking 8 years to grow, and those trees are set to come to market over the next few years. The weather also makes it hard for Christmas tree farmers. Right now, demand is high for real trees, but the supply is low. 27 million Americans are expected to buy a tree this year, with an average price sitting right around $75.
And we had a kind of a big snow system moving across the state, but was a lot of it falling, actually reaching the ground? Is it starting to finally snow around here?
It finally is starting to snow around here for us. We are seeing a few snowflakes in Madison, and if you go a little to the western side of the state, we're seeing some snowfall as well. And we are expecting light snow tonight. Nothing too heavy expected. A little bit of accumulation. You'll certainly wake up tomorrow to some snow on the ground, and because of that, we do have the chance for a little bit of a slick morning commute, especially east of Madison, to start off our Thursday. Into the weekend, we have the chance for some snowfall and some rain. It could lead to a little messy Saturday and early Sunday. We'll take a look at that in a second. Right now, this is what's moving on through. See that darker blue? That's likely snow that's hitting the ground. The lighter stuff is moisture in the atmosphere. It's likely evaporating before it hits the ground. But much of the area is seeing a few snowflakes right now. Again, not too heavy outside, just some light snowfall expected for us. Mostly cloudy overnight as that snow continues through into early tomorrow morning. Again, your commute tomorrow, if you are east of Madison towards Milwaukee, that's the area that will likely be seeing snowfall early tomorrow morning. So it could be a little slick in the morning. Snowfall totals add up to under an inch for much of the area. Staying cloudy throughout the day on Thursday. Temps will be just a few degrees warmer. Into Friday, plan on a variably cloudy sky, so some pockets of sunshine mixed in there, and temps will finally be close to 40. So a little warmer still. Again, an inch and under is what we're expecting for much of southern Wisconsin. I think an inch might be just a little generous, leaning more towards that 3/4 of an inch line for us in Madison. But overall, we are expecting to see snowfall really throughout the area. As we get into this weekend, that's when the question marks for us messiness, as I mentioned, come into play. Because of this line, that pink line of freezing drizzle, the line between above 32 and below 32 crosses right through southern Wisconsin throughout much of the day on Saturday. Early in the morning, we had the chance for some freezing drizzle. Throughout the afternoon, leaning towards having some rainfall. The problem is if that rainfall, if that low tracks a little further south, then we are going to be dealing with more snowfall on Saturday through southern Wisconsin rather than central and northern Wisconsin. This system lingers into Saturday night. By then, our temps drop quite a bit. So all of a sudden, we have snowfall for us heading into Sunday morning, and that mixes throughout the day on Sunday. Our current snow depth much higher to the north and the south. We have this dry patch here in the middle. That'll be made up for here, it seems like, as we get through this weekend into Sunday. Overall, a pretty cool November for us. And even saying how cool it has been, we're still ranked 22nd for the coldest Novembers on tap. So we've got quite a bit to go before we break any sort of records. That's not the trend for us. But as we look into the first week of December right around the corner, it looks like we are going to stay below average. That blue, of course, meaning that it's likely for us to be below average in our 8 to 14 day outlook. Downtown right now, just a few snowflakes falling. 28 are high for the day. Should have been in the upper 30s, so it's a little cool for us outside. Mid-20s overnight with that light snow possible. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, and in the mid-30s for our afternoon highs. A little better outside. We'll be at about 34th for Thursday. Heading into Friday, we'll hop up into the 40s with a variably cloudy sky. The mix coming in late at night and early Saturday morning. Saturday and Sunday, plan on some showers during the day on Saturday and a mix as we head into Sunday morning.
Jonathan Taylor cleans up on Big Ten Football Awards Day, and so does the Badgers' offensive line. The story coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Corolla. Tonight on the news at 9, after Madison Bishop Robert Morlino's death, many are wondering what's next for the diocese. We'll bring you some answers. That's first on Fox at 9.
Jonathan Taylor has had 2 historic seasons at running back for the Wisconsin Badgers, and despite the Badgers' disappointing 7-5 record, people realize what Taylor has accomplished, especially his almost 2,000-yard rushing season in 2018. Today, Taylor is named the Big Ten's Running Back of the Year, an award named the Dane Amici Running Back of the Year after the former Badger Heisman Trophy winners. This season, Taylor has rushed for 1,989 yards. He'll go over 2,000 in the bowl game, since that counts in the stats now. In 2 years, Taylor has 3,966 yards and 28 touchdowns. He's also named first-team All-Big Ten as he leads the award winners on offense, announced this afternoon. Now, for all the grief the Badger offensive line got this year, they did put 4 guys on the All-Big Ten first team, including the lineman of the year, Michael Dieter, Bo Benshaw, Tyler Biotish, and David Edwards. They also received first-team recognition by the media and coaches. Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins named the Big Ten's Offensive Player of the Year. Badger volleyball has 3 first-team all-conference selections. Dana Redke, Sydney Hilly, and Madison Duello all make the first team, while Tiana Williams is the Badgers Sportsmanship Award winner. Wisconsin opens the NCAA tournament tomorrow night at the UW Fieldhouse. The Northern Iowa faces Pepperdine at 5, followed by the Badgers at Green Bay at 7:30. Head coach Kelly Sheffield says his Wisconsin offense can shoot it out with anyone in the country, but defense is what wins tournament matches.
That's been an area of our game that, you know, for certain times of the season, we haven't gotten back down on the court and picked up our man, if you will. And that's the mentality that we've got to have for us to make a run here. It's something that we've gotten a lot better at. We've gotten more balance with our defense. We've certainly got a lot more discipline, but that's going to be a key thing for us.
The Badger men's basketball team begins the Big Ten regular season Friday night at Iowa, and the Badgers seem ready for it. Last night, Wisconsin beat NC State 79-75 in the Big Ten ACC Challenge at the Kohl Center to go to 6-1 in the preseason. And from what we've seen so far, the Badgers should be very competitive in the conference season.
A lot better than last season, that's for sure. It took us a long time to get 6 wins last season, and I think that's attributed to experience that we've gotten from a lot of our younger guys, or guys who didn't play much before, playing team basketball and not relying on 1 or 2 options and having everyone be able to contribute.
We've been able to find different ways, and that's usually a sign of a good team, that they can, you know, every night's going to be somebody different, and we need to depend on other people. And as we say all the time, all hands on deck.
And remember Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt from last year's NCAA men's basketball tournament? Well, the Loyola chaplain got a nice surprise last night. They surprised Sister Jean with her own Final Four ring. Sister Jean became a national celebrity as the Ramblers shocked everyone by getting to the Final Four. She says it felt like the ring added 5 pounds to her weight. By the way, Sister Jean turned 99 years old last night. Think she's getting into heaven? I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
Someday.
I think she just has to show the ring.
That's right. Just walks right in.
That's awesome.
Dana with a final check of the forecast.
So we do have some flurries right now moving through, and we're going to continue to see those flurries overnight into tomorrow morning. So anywhere east of Madison, likely going to have a messy commute for Thursday morning. Throughout the day, though, those flurries wrapping up fairly early on. Will stay cloudy. Temps will be in the mid-30s. Friday, variably cloudy, with the chance for a little mix. Freezing drizzle coming in late at night and early Saturday morning. Throughout the day on Saturday, we are looking at what could be pretty messy situation with some rain and mixing with snow coming through later on as well.
All right, Dana, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.